with part two. I talked a little bit about Baltimore and talk a little bit more about Maryland. And Maryland with pride, Missy Jen. Some of the things that made Maryland a fantastic place to grow up. In a lot of ways, some ways not, in the state of Maryland, because Maryland is really America in miniature. You had the ocean, you had the rolling lands of the Eastern Shore and all the chicken farms, Frank Perdue farms, and all the enormous chicken industry. And then you had the wonderful Chesapeake Bay with all the boating, the United States Naval Academy there in Annapolis. A real great playground for everything to do with being out on the water and the sea. Then you came over to the industrial heartland of the center of Maryland and Baltimore. But then as you go out west, Missy Jen, as you'll see today, you have the beauty of the rolling hills out in western Maryland, and you have the ski resorts, and it really is America in miniature in a lot of ways. And although you don't really think about it too much, there's a lot of really important history in Maryland. Every time you stand up for the national anthem, you're reliving the events of 1814, or I guess the War of 1812, when the British, having already burned Washington, D.C., decided to sail up Chesapeake Bay and decided that really the shipbuilding center of Baltimore would be a much bigger prize to burn Baltimore to the ground, because Washington was really just a governance place. There wasn't really anything there. You could flee with the legislature anywhere, the presidency, everybody, Dolly Madison grabbing the paintings in the White House and fleeing. And the British reasoned if they could burn Baltimore, that they really would make a dent in really putting America, a young America, in its place. And they sailed up Chesapeake Bay, and there was one obstacle that stood in their way: Fort McHenry, the Patapsco River. And if Fort McHenry had fallen that night, the British would have successfully landed, and who knows how different history might have been. But all through the night, the British fleet rained hundreds of bombs and cannon shells into the fort, and by the rocket's red glare, Missy Jen, and by the dawn's early light, the British saw that the flag was still there, waving as proudly as ever over that Fort McHenry in Baltimore Harbor. And at that point, the British decided to withdraw and concentrate their attention down in New Orleans, where they were unfortunate enough to run into a guy named Old Hickory, Andrew Jackson, who was tough as nails, and he served up the biggest defeats for the British down there. It's also Baltimore, the birthplace of Babe Ruth, who's arguably the most legendary baseball player of all time. Grew up very right cat-a-corner to my grandfather. Big seafood trade, but there's so many things that made H.L. Mencken the great critical social commentator of the 1920s and 30s. All the various racial divisions, the daughters of the Confederacy and the daughters of the Grand Army of the Republic, the North and the South, basically having meeting houses that were next door to each other. It was really rather amazing. So you also have the home of what we know today is Lockheed Martin. Glenn L. Martin started one time was the largest sole proprietorship in the United States. He personally signed every person's paycheck every payday. Hundreds and hundreds of Boys, went on to eventually become enormous as Martin Marietta, and then become part of Lockheed Martin today. So there's a significant, also you have the headquarters of the Fort Meade, the NSA, all the spy apparatus is located there at Fort George C. Meade around the Aberdeen area. You have all the most highly developed intelligence community right there. So obviously with all the people on government payroll, it's a rather wealthy state. Maryland has, apart from Baltimore, it's a rather wealthy state. With everybody involved in so many people involved in federal employees crossing over into Washington D.C. Every day. So yeah, there is a lot of great history there. I remember as a child growing up and what a treat it was to go down to the inner harbor. And of course, at that time when I was young, there were banana boats that would pull in, and all the wharves and the docks were all busted down. But it was really a colorful sight. And then to top off the day, we would go up on top of McCormick Spice Company, and of course, everybody knows McCormick Spices was founded down in Baltimore. And you'd go up to the top of their factory, and they had a tea room where you could sample teas with cinnamon, and you could always tell when they were grinding cinnamon. The whole city just smelled like cinnamon. It was amazing. Lots of great memories. But I also remember growing up in the pre-integrated days and the lunch counters in the great department stores in downtown Baltimore. One section for blacks only, one section for whites only. That was a real eye-opener for me. Amusement parks with lines for whites, lines for blacks. Movie theaters, white only, black only. So early on, I had a really heavy dose. A real good seat to view racism and to view some of the things that made America not so great at that particular time. And all that contributes, I think, Missy Jan, wherever we grow up, to make us the person that we are to this day. So there it is, folks. A few more thoughts of mine on Maryland. Hope you're enjoying the ride as we head back towards my home state of Maryland and my city of Baltimore.